What's up, guys? We're back for another exclusive Black Series review, and this is, of course, another Disney Store exclusive review in the States. We've got the Captain Phasma Quicksilver Baton version, so this is her Last Jedi appearance, and this might be the one that replaces that figure on the shelf back there. We've got her figure arts version to compare against as well. So you can see her there in the standard packaging. We've got her in the window. We've got some artwork down there on the side. She doesn't have a number, and then we've got a bio and then that artwork on the back side as well. So let's pull her out and take a look. Alright guys, here she is out of the packaging, Captain Phasma, and this is an interesting figure as far as I'm concerned. It's a ton of parts reuse, but it's also quite different from the first figure, not to mention the fact that it is very, very scene specific to The Last Jedi, so it's just kind of an odd one that we got this in general. Of course, we're going to run through articulation real quick. It has been quite a while since I've actually looked at the Captain Phasma figure. Of course, there's not going to be any surprises here, but we do have to take a look. So the head can be rotated side to side. You can go down, but not really up, and then there's not really any bobble or anything like that. Arms go out, they go around. We do not have a bicep cut. We have got rotation in the elbow and then about a 90-degree hinge. We've got rotation at the wrist, and then we've got side-to-side hinges on both wrists. We've got an upper diaphragm joint so we can swivel her, and she clicks really, really badly. I'm not really sure why, but it's not a big deal either. She goes backwards, she goes forwards, not a lot on the side to side. There is no waist twist on this figure though. She's just a solid piece. You can kick forward, you can kick back, you can kick out, but it's not very much. The armor does get in the way, not to mention, of course, the joint itself. There is a thigh cut. We've got double jointed knees, and then we have got rocker and hinge down there for the ankles. So, you know, it's exactly what you expect. There's really no surprises here. She is not in any way updated with articulation. She's pretty standard Black Series fare, not to mention the fact that we've got this figure previously. The real draw is, of course, not the fact that it's Captain Phasma, and I'm not sure if opinions on her have soured over time or not. I'm not exactly happy with the direction the character has taken, because she was originally just the coolest looking thing, but is relegated to slight comic relief throughout the years at this point. But I always thought that she made for pretty cool figures. The original Black Series figure is okay. I don't think they did the greatest job on her. The head always seemed a little too big. I feel like they kind of fixed that here. I do think that the head is slightly smaller this time around, and you know, there we've of course got the eye in there, which we'll talk about shortly. But the big thing for me, not just the fact that she has added paint detail and then she's got, you know, obviously a different head sculpt or helmet sculpt, is that we have soft goods this time around. And I was not a fan of the original Captain Phasma cape. I thought it was chunky and just not figure friendly, really. This is a lot better. It is unfortunately really wrinkled, and I haven't done anything to fix that, so this is what she looks like out of the box. So it's pretty wrinkled, but I do much more prefer this soft goods cape to the big thick plastic one. It hangs really nicely. It's, you know, cut in the perfect way. I like the red band that runs down it. So this is what we should have gotten from the get-go. I think I would have been a lot happier with the original figure if she had this cape versus the other one. I do think that in general the paint on her and the silver color is a little better. It's not chrome obviously. It's not even as bright as the figure arts, but it does have a little more luster and a little more shine, and I am really, really happy with that. Of course, the figure in general is just parts reuse over and over and over again. It's Captain Phasma's body with this paint detail on it, and like I mentioned, you know, I'm sure everybody that's watching this has seen The Last Jedi at this point, but this is obviously from the scene where she and Finn finally throw down and he cracks her with the riot baton. And, you know, we've got the big burn mark on her chest, which is sculpted really nicely. It's got some, you know, kind of rust in there almost, and then, of course, a charring on the chest. But the big thing for this figure is going to definitely be with the head sculpt. I do like the fact that we have that paint application there. It looks really nice. It's well done. But, of course, when you get to the head, it's a whole different story because there's just so much more going on. So, of course, we have to get in a little tighter for this one, but this is the Captain Phasma helmet that we know. I do think that it seems a little smaller, it seems a little tighter, a little more compact, and I do like that, but it's actually a helmet this time. It's not really meant to be removed, but you can remove this helmet, I assume with enough heat. I haven't done it, I have no reason to, because I know what horrors await underneath that, because there's just an eye painted on this blank head sculpt in there, which is quite freaky and kind of weird, but it's also hilarious at the same time. I do think that the helmet in general general is nicely painted, nicely sculpted. It looks right. You've got all of this wear and tear on the side here. And then, of course, you have the ripped face guard on the mask, also with the missing eyepiece. And you can see Captain Phasma's eye underneath there, which is nicely painted. There's, photoreal tech in use to print that eye on the face. And in general, I think everything about what they did to make this helmet look scarred and battle damaged worked out really well. It is, of course, very, very scene specific. So, if you just want a clean Captain Phasma, all you have is the original one to go with. But if you're into something like this, then it's a really, really nice touch. And it's a cool thing to have on your shelf to make that sort of scene if you wanted to. If you wanted to actually have a scene with Phasma and Finn fighting, you have the perfect figure here because no other offering gives you the battle scarring. Now, as far as accessories go, we do have a few. Obviously, this Captain Phasma is labeled as the Quicksilver Baton version because in The Last Jedi, she uses a unique weapon. One thing that I don't remember about in The Last Jedi, because I've only seen it twice. I've seen it twice. I went to see it in the theaters twice, and I haven't seen it since then for reasons that do not matter for this review. But I don't remember where she actually kept the baton, or if we even see her pull it out of something. I don't remember. Someone let me know if you know. But we have got that baton here, and for, we've got two different versions of it. We've got the small guy here. It's just a silver rod that goes to 2 points on the end with a little design in the middle. And this guy extends. Well, that doesn't extend, but in the movie it extends to a full-size baton. And it's about as tall as she is. And I think it's pretty cool. I mean, I like this weapon. I like the idea of troopers using melee weapons. I've said that before in other videos. And I really like the figure arts version of this version of Captain Phasma. But what I don't like is that her hands are still sculpted to use the gun. So they don't really grip this thing all that well. Like you can see it just slides right in and out. If you turn her upside down, it's just going to fall right out. So that's a negative, and I didn't really think about that happening until I got her out of the package, but because why would they give her new hands? That would cause tooling price increases and things like that. So we've got it. If you can put her kind of holding it, standing it straight up works fine, or having her do a two-handed pose, which is perfectly fine. Very capable to do that with this figure, so you can do something like that. She looks fine holding it, and the silver matches her suit pretty well. We do, of course, have her blaster rifle. So we've seen this before. Paint job is pretty similar to the original one, to the one we got with the first release. I feel like in some places it looks a little different, but overall they're very, very much the same. It's the exact same mold anyway. And then you can, if you're so inclined, you can pop this guy on her thigh here, because all the First Order troopers have that little slot, so you can put a gun, and she has that little thing that juts out of the side, so you can pop that on there. I like her gun. I like the fact that it's not silver. I like the fact that it's gold, and it is, again, just more parts reuse, but it fits her character. She has it in the movie. But these are really the stars of the show for me. This is what I'm going to use when I display her because, well, that's what this figure's for. And of course we have to do a quick comparison between the other Phasma figures. So we have got the original Black Series Phasma here. You can see that they are overwhelmingly the same figure. The differences are of course the cape and then the helmet and some paint applications. And I do think again that the luster on this figure is slightly better. It's minuscule at best, but it's definitely different, at least to me. It seems different to me. And then we have got, this is the Last Jedi version of figure art. So this one does not have any paint detail. No battle damage. This is just her prior to the fight with Finn. So you can see that, of course, she has the Quicksilver baton. She has, a much more lustrous plastic here, much more chrome-esque. It's not exactly chrome, but it's far shinier than the Black Series. And then, of course, she still has a plastic cape. So, they are all quite different from each other. Even the Black Series are pretty far apart just because of the scene-specific detail we have here. And, of course, I think the soft goods cape is a huge win for this figure. So we've got a number of choices. There is also a original Force Awakens Phasma figure arts, but there's really no reason to compare about that one. It's just Phasma without the Quicksilver baton. So there you go, guys. That is a look at what is available for this particular figure. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this one. I almost didn't buy this one just because I kind of thought, well, do I really need two Phasmas? And, I say that already having two figure arts and the Black Series, so this makes my fourth Phasma. but I don't know that I'm actually going to display both of these simultaneously on my Black Series shelf. I think the original one might get put away for a while. This one might get put in its place. I do like the fact that even though she's very, very, very scene specific, that she does very much look fantastic. I really, really like the battle damage on the face. I like the paint on the chest. I love the soft goods cape, and I do like the Quicksilver baton. I like it better than her just having a blaster rifle. It makes her look more unique. So in general, I think she's a pretty cool figure. You know, if you need another Phasma, then this is the one to go with. If you don't need another Phasma, then, you know, you probably don't need her. But I would also recommend this one if you don't have the original either. So you've got some options, all things considered. So that's going to do it for this look at the Star Wars Black Series Disney Store exclusive Captain Phasma. Let me know what you guys think. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And until next time.